And I'm happy I explained to the layman. I don't want to come with all the constitution words and whatnot, jargon and this and that. I wanted to hear what my good friend Attorney Om Lalla has to say. Put up a nice picture of him there. Great guy. Okay, I'm trying to call him. So just to let you know, we're standing with you. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Oh, we got a press release from the Honorable Opposition Leader.
Hello.
Mr. Lalla, I'm sorry to call you so late. But nevertheless, you are live on Crime Watch. What have you to say about the state of emergency? What is your views as an attorney? And what are the rights of the citizens? And I hope that they would not be victimized. Could you tell us about all those things?
Well, a state of emergency is called an exceptional circumstances.
Hold a second, sir. Hold a second. I didn't have you at my mic there. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
State of emergency is only called in exceptional circumstances. And the reason being is that your constitutional rights, freedom of movement, powers of arrest by the police, detention, all of that changes. So the law is removed, your rights and freedoms are interfered with, where the police have the power to detain anyone, arrest anyone, search anyone's premises. So all your basic rights that are normally covered by the law are removed. And that's why states of emergency could only be held where you're in a very critical state of some emergency.
Right.
The Attorney General said this morning, the emergency is that...
Which Attorney General?
The acting Attorney General.
Acting Attorney, we are still looking for I don't want to bring in this, but I'm still looking for the official Attorney General, but I heard he's out of the country. Somebody told me.
Yeah, but he would be if the Stuart Young is now acting.
Okay.
And again, state of emergency now inhibits all movements. But coming back to the reason is that there is information that came to the government of a serious nature, of a serious threat that there would be killings or reprisals or gang warfare of such a scale that they had to impose the state of emergency. The big question is whether they expect with the state of emergency to apprehend the people who they say are the people who may be committing these crimes, whether they're going to have a recovery of guns, whether the crime is going to be brought to a halt or not. You have to understand at the end of the year, for 2024, we've crossed 600 murders. The country's in a state of crisis in terms of the average citizen being in fear. Whether or not a state of emergency is going to bring confidence back in people's mind, whether it's going to bring more results, is left to be seen. And remember, a state of emergency could run for up to 3 months. So that's quite a long time to have this in place. Now, while they're not going to have a curfew put in place and they're not going to restrict movement of people, just the fact that the police have the right to stop, detain, arrest, and they can arrest you and detain you in the first instance for 24 hours, and then a police officer or a magistrate can order that you be kept for another 7 days. These will come out in the regulations, the state of emergency regulations, which has not been published yet. But the danger becomes, yes, we have a crime problem. No, this is not a crime-fighting measure, according to the acting Attorney General. It is to deal with a specific issue. But the public needs to know, when we are already gripped with fear, at what stage are we going to know whether there's a result, whether it's going to, how long this is going to last, how is it going to infringe people's rights and freedoms. We all want crime to stop. We all want measures to put in place. And, you know, it's alarming that 2 years later, you just see a state of emergency. We don't know what the information is. We don't know what the intel is. That's confidential. That's a national security matter. We only hope that it is information that will allow them to apprehend or deal with the problem that makes crime or eradicates crime to some extent. This is also a very sensitive time of year, just before Carnival. while the minister says it's not going to interfere with carnival, school, and all of that. But once a state of emergency is put in place, the globe looks in now that Trinidad is at such a high level of risk. Every embassy, every international agency is going to look at Trinidad. Anybody wanting to do business, people wanting to come here on holiday, the cruise ships coming in, we get targeted as a country that is at such a emergency level of violence that a government has no choice but to put a state of emergency. And the country is going to watch to see what the results of the state of emergency is. Is it just going to have people locked up and places searched and all of that? Yes, by all means, the police need all the help they could get. But what is the result this is going to show in 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months? Is there going to be a result that people are going to feel more confident? Because there's a lot of negative that comes with a state of emergency, because it means that all your apparatus in crime fighting has failed, and you reach a stage where something is so serious that you have no choice but to put this measure in place. Remember, this is a last resort measure.
Do you agree with me that the government they have thrown their hands up and they have given up because they have all their options has failed?
Well, I will say the fact that you reached 600 murders.
600 plus 20. It's almost 635.
And all you can be told is that they're trying and they will do better is unacceptable. True. You have a country that is gripped by fear of crime, and nothing is said or done to show results or bring a sense of confidence in people's minds that, look, it's going to be better. Home invasion, how many people are terrorized and their children are traumatized by home invasion, and nothing can be done. A lot of talk. People want crime to be dealt with. If state of emergency is going to fix crime, by all means run a state of emergency, do what you have to do. But it'll be left to be seen whether this is the answer, because that means this is not a crime fighting measure. It's a measure to deal with a particular issue. So it doesn't mean that this is going to solve crime. So we wait and see. Like I say, every law-abiding citizen wants crime to come to an end. But I don't see any measures being put in place, and there's no confidence in what is being said that you're going to see a reduction other than what the curfew imposes in terms of restriction of people and holding people at bay. That's the only thing that might happen.
Mr. Lalla, I want to tell you thanks for enlightening us, and thanks for really educating the public about their rights and whatnot. And I think that you made some really great points, some salient points. And I want to tell you thanks again, and I'll give you a call later.
All right,
off the air. So thank you again. It's so nice to hear your voice on Crime Watch. I must try for it to be a little more regular, yeah?
Definitely, for sure.
All right, thank you again.
Okay.
What we wanted to do also, ladies and gentlemen,